able to step outside of yourself and see yourself from a non-egotistical way, and that is an amazing way for you to build and develop self-awareness. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to have you guys here today. Today we're going to be talking about self-awareness, which falls right underneath the umbrella category of emotional intelligence. So if you're interested, definitely keep on watching. Now, first of all, hello and welcome to all of my new subscribers. I am extremely happy to see this channel growing. I feel like we did a big jump from 200 to 475. That is such a huge difference. So welcome to all the new people. Extremely happy to have you. And of course, in this community, we focus on self-care, self-love, growth, and apparently now 4C here too. Okay, because there's a lot of conversation around this. So definitely happy to have you guys here, and keep on watching. Let's get straight into the gems. Well, you either know or you don't know. Self-awareness is sexy, okay? It is a very sexy trait to have. And now I can easily just label it as sexy because that might just be more fun, more easy, girly, whatever. But at the end of the day, we all need it, and it's a very important trait to have. Now, in this video, I am going to be referencing a lot from this Emotional Intelligence book 2.0, which is really, really good. And I'm going to break it down in sections. It's going to be a 4-component. And for this video, we're going to be doing self-awareness because it all starts with yourself. So basically, what is self-awareness, right? Self-awareness is having a deep understanding of yourself. And you guys know that on this channel, there's a lot of self-development videos that I post, and I'm always talking about self-awareness and ways that you can be more self-aware and ways that you can actually tap in deeper to yourself. So if after watching this video, you feel like you need a little bit more gems, definitely check out my channel because there is a plethora of those on my channel. Self-awareness is something that we all need, okay? And at the end of the day, self-awareness is free, but if you are not self-aware, it will cost you, okay? So a little something for you to know. So the first thing that you need to know when it comes to self-awareness is to quit treating your emotions as good and or bad, okay? And let me tell you why. Obviously, as humans, we all go through emotions. We all go through things that are good, that are bad, that are sad, that is whatever the case may be, right? When you categorize your emotions or things that happen to you as good or bad, you are automatically putting yourself in that specific mood. So for example, an emotion that we typically classify as bad is guilt, right? We think of guilt and we might classify it as bad. And if we're classifying guilt as bad, therefore that can in turn have us not be as honest, not be as open, or try to avoid certain things that may cause us to feel the emotion of guilt. And in that same breath, you know, we can have moments of pure happiness and joy, and we can want to hold on to it and really ride with it. And when it's gone, we have a low, okay? So you have your highs and your lows, and when you have extreme highs, the lows is gonna hit really, really hard. So the next time you feel an emotion, instead of trying to categorize it as good or as bad, whatever the case may be, I want you to feel the emotion and ask yourself, what is it telling me in this very moment? What are my needs and how can I achieve that? That is gonna be the first step, because that is gonna help you to create more of like a grounding component and a balance when it comes to your emotions, especially if you're someone like me who has a lot of high emotions. I have high emotions. They're through the roof a lot of the times. And what I do is I like to alchemize it and instead maybe use that energy into planning an event with my friends and my family, planning an outfit, whatever the case may be, instead of getting these really high emotions. And when it's gone, I feel down. I feel sad about it, right? So just finding ways to balance it and not categorizing as good or as bad. Now, of course, you can have an understanding of what's good and what's not good, but don't have a heavy comparison component where it's like good or bad, okay? Number 2 is that you're going to want to observe the ripple effect of your emotions. Now, what does that mean? That basically means, what are the after effects? What are the side effects? What is the aftermath of your emotions, okay? So let's say, for example, you're someone who tends to feel lonely, or you're someone who tends to feel sad. So it causes you to reach out to people that maybe you shouldn't be talking to, or maybe aren't the best for you, right? You need to understand how your emotions cause you to react, to do. And once you do, you'll be able to have a better control of your life, of your emotion, and how things go. And of course, to have a better understanding of that ripple effect of your emotions, you definitely will need to sit with yourself, observe yourself, journal, whatever the case may be. Okay, for the year of 2026, my goal is to really dive deep into self-development. So if you want to go ahead and join on that journey, I will be posting reels. I will be not reels, I'm sorry. I will be posting YouTube shorts. I will be posting YouTube videos. And I want to start using my community more. So if you're interested in seeing that, definitely hit that subscribe button so you could join in this 2026 growth creation moments. Number 3 is you're going to want to go ahead and lean into discomfort, okay? Now, I know a lot of times discomfort falls into that bad category that we typically try to avoid, right? But what do I always say? The worst place for you to be is the same place as last year. And guess what? Discomfort only happens when you remove yourself from the same place you were before. What does that mean? You have to get comfortable with change. You have to get comfortable with growing, with elevating. Growing, elevating, and changing comes with discomfort. Y'all, the last 4 years of my life has been changing. It has been uncomfortable. It has been painfully uncomfortable. But I am at a point where I'm happy now, where I feel good about myself and the life that I've created. So with that being said, definitely get comfortable with discomfort because that is what you're going to need to be able to grow and to elevate. And in terms of your emotions, you're also going to want to be able to be comfortable with the discomfort of your emotions, okay? How are you feeling? You want to get comfortable with the discomfort of your emotions, okay? You have an uncomfortable emotion maybe when you speak to this person. Now I want you to sit down and think, why do I feel uncomfortable when I speak to this person, okay? And you don't got to tell me. You don't got to tell nobody, but you can write it down and understand your triggers, what ticks you, and what causes you to do what you do. This is the way where you can get uncomfortable. Now comment down below what are some ways that you allowed yourself to be discomfortable so that you can grow, whether emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. I want to hear all about it. Number 4 is going to be feel your emotions physically. Now I really love this because I am a very deep person. If you take a scroll on my channel, you'll see I've been deep my entire life. I'm a very deep girl, so I feel everything to the tip of my toes and every hair strand on my body, okay? And that actually causes me to be a creative because I'm able to transmute my emotions, whether good or bad, into my crafts, my art, my videos, whatever, right? So I want you to be able to feel your emotions physically. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, you're going through something really bad, right? And I'm going to put that in quotes because we're not going to try to categorize it. It's an emotion, right? It's an emotion. So let's say, for example, if you're going through a breakup and you're upset and you're really down about it, I want you to feel that. If you're going to eat your ice cream, eat your ice cream. If you're going to listen to your songs, listen to your songs. If you're going to lay in bed, lay in your bed. Feel it physically. Allow yourself to fully feel it because whatever you do not feel and you throw onto the back burner will only come back up, okay? I'm sure you've been around people have had moments where people would quite literally blow up, okay? Like, I mean blow up because they've been holding their feelings in for so long. Don't do that. Emotions stay in your body and it can get trapped in your body. You never want to do that. You always want to release. So definitely feel your emotions. Another way to really help regulate yourself, what I found recently is weightlifting. I love weightlifting, and weightlifting makes me feel so good, especially if I'm having not the best day. Go to the gym, I feel better. Definitely feel all your emotions physically. I had to move the camera a little bit. Okay. There we go. I had to move the camera a little bit because I felt like I was too close. Okay, so now that we know we're feeling our emotions physically, know who and what pushes your buttons, okay? This is going to be super important, especially around the holiday times where you're going to be traveling and moving around. I want you to have a clear picture of what pushes your buttons. For example, you might be someone that's a bit more introverted, so people who are loud and obnoxious really just grind your gears. I want you to have a good understanding of that. Look into that and understand, okay, I know this pisses me off, so I am going to not necessarily try to interact with it. Write it down. You don't got to tell me, you don't got to tell the world, but write it down and know what pisses you off, what pushes your buttons, just so that you're able to flow, you're able to have an understanding of what to avoid, what not to go around, and how to be. And know who pushes your buttons, because sometimes people do push our buttons and that is just a part of life. But if you find that you have someone in your space, in your circle, in your community, your job, your family, whatever that pushes your buttons, write it down, figure out what is it that they're doing to push your buttons. A lot of times people are, not all the times, but a lot of times people are merely a reflection of yourself. So you have some journaling and some thinking to do to figure out why they're making you feel the way they make you feel. Number 6 is going to be watch yourself like a hawk, okay? And now with self-awareness, obviously you have to be aware of yourself, right? And a good trick that the book talks about is watching yourself from a position of like you're literally stepping outside of your body, right? So like, let's say for example, you have a casual social interaction with like someone you just met, okay? And this is a time for you to practice, okay? When you're talking to strangers in the street, that is your time to practice, okay? Start a conversation with somebody, talk to them, see what, like, whatever. I want you to have a moment where you mentally step outside of yourself and think, how am I coming across? How am I interpreting this person? How is my body language? How am I, etc., etc. Watch yourself. Literally watch yourself. That's another way for you to grow, is watching yourself as an outsider. How are you? You know what I mean? A lot of times when you are younger, I want to say teens to early 20s, we do have an egocentric way of thinking. It is literally psychology. You can search it up, okay? If you want to fact check me, go ahead and do it in the comments, okay? We have an egocentric way of thinking, meaning what does that mean? Me. I'm always right. Me. I'm the coolest. I'm the best, blah, 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 right? It's just what it is. A lot of times that can be cool in your age range, but as you get older, that is something that you will need to learn how to grow out of, right? So that's why I say be able to step outside of yourself and see yourself from a non-egotistical way. And that is an amazing way for you to build and develop self-awareness. Number 7 is going to be to keep a journal about your emotions. Now, you guys know I love journaling. Like, I've been journaling forever. I'm really big on journaling because when you journal, you're able to go back and understand how you felt. I have journal entries from 2020 that I go back, and it's 2025 now, and I read, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even remember this, right? But when you're writing, you're literally keeping tabs, or data, I shouldn't say data. You're keeping data of yourself, right? So you want to make sure that you have a journal and you're writing down your emotions. When you feel angry, confused, mad, sad, happy, and why? What's causing you to feel this way, right? That's another way for you to have self-awareness, because that also ties into you watching yourself like a hawk, having an understanding and knowing who you are when you're able to assess your emotions and see your emotions instead of something as good or as bad, but instead seeing your emotions as something, as your body or your mind, or what is your world trying to tell you. And now number 8 is going to be, don't be fooled by a bad emotion. And a good one either, okay? So you have your good and you have your bad, right? You having a bad day does not mean that you suck and your world is ending and everything is crashing apart. It's just a bad day. It's just a bad emotion. You're gonna feel your emotions, you're gonna go through it, and guess what? It does get better, okay? I enjoy talking to older people because they are literally the walking example of like, things happen in life, but life keeps going, okay? Like, life literally keeps going. So don't let a good day ruin your day, and don't let a bad day ruin your week, your life, your month. And don't let a good day create a high for you that you're trying to achieve every single day, okay? Because that's when it becomes exhausting, it's not authentic, and it's not flowing. Don't be fooled by a bad mood, and don't be fooled by a good mood, okay? They're all emotions and we all feel them. That's what we do as humans, but don't let that determine who you are, how you operate, and how you will continue on with this life. All that to say, I'm not saying that like if you're having a bad day, don't like curl up and lay down and watch some TV and eat ice cream. If you need to do that, but don't let that be continuous, okay? Yes, feel your emotions, yes, release, but don't let that cause you to do things that might not align with a good mood, okay? Let's say, for example, you just got a raise. Don't go spending all your money because you just got a raise and you feel good about yourself. You know you got some bills to pay. Stop playing. So with that being said, don't let a good or a bad mood fool you. Number 10, which is going to be my favorite, is stop and ask yourself, why do you do what you do? Why? Like, why is it that you do this, okay? And this also ties into watching yourself like a hawk and journaling, because sometimes you really do have to step outside of yourself and really observe yourself. We all have a friend or a family member or someone that we know that you kind of watch them and you're like, why are they doing this? Like, they're so much better than this, right? And in their world, they're not seeing it that way because they ain't asking themselves why they do what they do. Okay, it's that simple. And it's the same thing for you. There's people in your life that's probably watching you and they're like, why do you do what you do? Like, I see you in such a better light, in such a bigger light, and yet you're doing this, right? It's because you ain't stop and ask yourself why you do what you do. So that's why you got to stop and ask yourself why you do what you do. And with that being said, I would also journal it, right? So let's say, for example, if every morning you find out you're always scrolling on your phone and then you wake up and you feel like crap. Why do you do that? Why did you do that? Because you're a procrastinator? Oh, okay, that's why. You know what I mean? So what does that mean? Maybe I need to not sleep with my phone near me. Maybe I need to turn off my phone. Whatever the case may be. So definitely, I want you guys to consider that, asking yourself, why do you do what you do? And another way that I really love to kind of build up on that self-awareness, I love reality shows. And not just the drama ones, but any type of reality show where it's like real life people. I love observing people. I love people watching. I love interacting with people. I love going to events and seeing people act. It's always really, really fun. And that is a great way for you to build more self-awareness by watching others. Number 11 is going to be to watch your values, revisit your values, okay? What are your values? Who are you at your core? Now, you guys know I have videos on this on my YouTube channel, right? When it comes to values, you have to know who you are, what you stand for, your morals, and what makes you you, okay? You have your core and then you have your values. Your core is who you are on the inside, and your values is what you stand for. If you don't know your values, I definitely encourage you to sit with yourself, whether for 2 to 3 days, and figure out your values. Now, I do have a video on how to figure out your values, and this will be when you do a deep dive into your inner self by eliminating all distractions and really zoning in and focus, because who you are when you're alone is who you actually are, right? So you're gonna want to do that, figure out what your values, and revisit them. If you need to like go on Canva and like make like a cute little like picture and put like the words in there and like print it out and hang it up, then do that, okay? If you need to make a vision board, I love vision boards every year with my values and my goals. Go ahead and do that, okay? Reminders don't hurt nobody, even if you need to make it your screensaver, okay? Just always remember your values and revisit them often. Number 12. Check yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Checking yourself aligns with watching yourself like a hawk, okay? And with checking yourself, that means you need to be doing check-ins with yourself, okay? I know it's really easy to ask someone, hey, how's it going? How are you? Are you feeling okay? When you wake up in the morning, you need to do that for yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. If you feel weird about that, think it in your head, write it down. How am I feeling today? Okay, why do I feel this way? Because yesterday, somebody cut me off on the road, so now I'm still mad about that. So now I'm going to be a jerk to everybody else today. See? You see? Check yourself, okay? Check yourself, because you don't have to do that. You don't. So literally checking yourself is something that is as simple as asking yourself, how am I feeling internally? And with you being able to check yourself, this actually stops you from acting out, doing things that you typically wouldn't do, or lashing out on other people, because you are able to check your emotions and understand who you are, how you feel, how you're feeling in the moment, and what are your triggers, etc. Number 13 is going to be to spot your emotions in books, movies, and music. If you feel like you're having trouble understanding yourself, I want you to look through your music, okay? Your past liked songs. What are the lyrics? What are they saying? Is it a happy song? Is it a heartbreak song? Is it a party girl song? Is it like I don't care song? Like, what is it saying? When you listen to a song and you feel like your emotions is being pulled, I want you to go read the lyrics. See how it relates to you. Same thing with movies. Do you have like a comfort movie that you're always watching, or is there a movie that just gets you? Ask yourself why, journal it, look at the movie synopsis, and dive deeper into it. Because honestly, movies, books, and music and TV shows will tell you so much about yourself. Now, I do watch Zeus because it's entertaining. I do watch it for the entertainment, okay? And now, obviously, there's some people who just cannot tolerate the BS. And I get it. I get it, okay? And now for myself, I love it for the entertainment. What does that say about me? Well, I did have more of a wilder side when I was younger. So it does make sense as to why I would like Zeus, and I can understand the drama and all the things that's going on. So you can kind of see that there. Number 14 is going to be seek feedback. Now, feedback is one of the hardest things to get, and sometimes to give too, because it's something about telling someone about themselves that can feel very uncomfortable and just make you feel like it's confrontational, or they might not like you, don't want to hurt their feelings. But needless to say, feedback is very important to give to other people and to give to yourself. I'm always a big advocate of, let's say, for example, I have a friend who is probably not being the best in that moment. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you know, like, hey, what you're doing is not cool. It doesn't align with the values that you have, that I have, that we have together as a friendship, whatever the case may be. You need to seek feedback for yourself as well. What does that mean? Ask a friend, a family member, a partner, whatever. Hey, what do you think about this? And what ways can I improve? We're constantly seeking feedback and getting feedback at work. So why are we not doing it in our personal life, right? Our managers are telling us what we can do better. Our teams let us know what we're doing and what we can do better. Do that in your personal life, because your goal here on this earth is not just to grow in your career and in your professional life and to grow financially, but to also grow internally. Why? Because self-awareness and emotional intelligence is sexy. And number 15, last but certainly never least, is to get to know yourself under stress. Okay, stress is definitely, for me, one of the most stressful emotions that you can feel. And a lot of times stress, obviously there's more underlying things as to why someone might feel stressed, but stress also has a physical effect on your body, your emotional, your mental, your physical health as well. Okay, I have a video on this about regulating yourself. Stress goes as bad as affecting your cortisol levels, which can cause weight gain, which can cause depression, which can cause pimples, which can cause hormonal imbalances. So stress is something that you typically don't want to do or feel, right? So get to know yourself under stress, right? Maybe put yourself in a situation. You can start with something as light as like playing what are they called, like games where you have to like figure out a puzzle, right? Small stress indicators there, right? Do something like that. See how you feel, grow off of that, right? You might be in a stressful situation. I want you to woosah, breathe, think. You have your emotions, you feel stress. I don't want you to operate fully in stress, but operate in logic, because a lot of times we do things under stress that's not the best, not the smartest, and not until after we're released and down from that stress, we're like, dang, why did I do that? Like, I should have never did that, right? So definitely understand yourself in stressful situations. Know who stresses you out. Know what type of situation stresses you out. You can either avoid it or you can go through it and learn and grow from that, because at the end of the day, the goal is for you to woosah and breathe through stressful situations. I don't do the best with stress. I am very much so like, I've curated a soft life for myself, so I don't do good with stress, but I am learning and working for it. Just the other day, my sweet dog Trey, he was holding on to his bone, and I thought that like it was stuck in his mouth, but he was just like holding onto it really, really tight. And I was trying to pull it, and like I thought he was in pain, and like I thought I had to run to the vet because his bone was stuck between his teeth, and I got so stressed out about vet bills and like his teeth and like, just him, because he's an 11-year-old dog. And come to find out, he was just resource guarding, and I started crying for nothing. Okay, spiked my cortisol level through the roof for nothing. So definitely get to know yourself under stress so that you can manage it and act accordingly. With that being said, that is all for this video. I'm extremely excited to do this series. This will be a 4-part series, and this is just part 1. So if you like all of the gems I would said, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you would like to join me on my 2026 self-growth journey, definitely subscribe, like, and share with the girlies that you would like to join with you. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Peace.